Let me throw my mic on there real quick. Welcome in, everybody. Bobby, we already got Judge Analyzer in the comments, man.
Hell yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for watching. I know we got some Thursday night football going on, but hey, let's talk some UFC, talk some bets, and then we can get right back to football. Shouldn't be a too long episode today because we do only break down 5 fights on this show, and also Thursday night football is going on, so let's not keep everybody. Bobby, not the best card, but we found 5 fights that we thought we had an idea of how it's going to go. Let's get straight into it, man. So, number 1 fight we're talking about, let me scroll up a little bit. There we go. Patricio Pitbull versus Losine Kaida? Bobby, why don't you take this one first?
Yeah, so this one's an interesting fight. You got Pitbull and Kaida. Odds on this are, heavily discounting Pitbull, and I get why. His debut was far from a good first impression.
Stinker.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. Let's just be honest. But, I mean, when you're getting Patricio Pitbull at plus 180 against Kaida, I think I'm willing to give Pitbull one last chance before he's going to be a fade for me going forward. Like, if you guys were going to come across on this card, actually, are fades for me going forward. But I have just a little bit more hype and a little bit more faith in Pitbull. One last chance I will give Pitbull in this particular instance. But yeah, it's certainly a tall task, right? I mean, you got Kaida, dude, 16-1, coming over from Octagon promotion, right? He was a lightweight championship, lightweight tournament winner there, all that fun stuff, coming off, hasn't lost since 2023, and that was his only loss. So title holder in that promotion and everything, but there's a big step up from Octagon compared to Bellator and the UFC, right? Especially the UFC. I still think Pitbull is overall a UFC caliber fighter. Unfortunately, I agree that, I wish he would have, made his appearance a little bit sooner in the promotion. Right. I don't want him to be one of those guys, that's too little too late. I think he can at least hopefully beat Kaida. I mean, I know that there's a pretty big age discrepancy, right? 38 compared to 27 for Kaida. I get that. Some more wear and tear, on Pitbull here, but this is his last shot to prove it to me. The experience edge, the vet edge, this would be one of those fights where I kind of go with that. And I think he'll be able to hopefully at least kind of, outpoint Kaida here. Dan Ige is a tough guy, pretty tall ask, to come into the UFC with that be your debut fight. Always a game guy. Uh, yeah, I mean, damn it. Actually, now that I look at this, screw it. I'm going Kaida. I'm changing it. There's too much.
Oh,
The age, the height, the reach. It's all in favor of Kaida. I can't talk myself into it just because he's the dog like I was trying to just now. I change it. The youth is too much. The height, the reach. I gotta go Kaida here. As far as how I think it's gonna go down here, let's see. What am I working with here? Because you're getting Kaida at a minus 218. Pitbull's a plus 180, but damn, Pitbull did look pretty bad, man. I get it was against Ige, but God, it was absolutely terrible.
I give him a pass, man. I give him a pass personally.
As just as the more I was looking at it, though, it's like, damn, how am I trying to dress this up? It feels like I'm just forcing myself to dress it up to take Pitbull, but I'm gonna go Kaida decision. What do you have?
I'm on Pitbull here because I just think that Pitbull, he, like you said, that Kaida has the age, he's got the reach, but I give the IQ edge to Pitbull. And people that haven't been in combat sports, they don't know that there's just some moves that you can't do if the other guy's not pressuring you. Like the lat drop is one of my favorite moves, but it really doesn't work if the guy's running away. You can't really hit that. You have to wait for him to pressure back into you, and then you can really hit it with effectiveness. Kaida just kind of runs forward, and he has crazy pressure, very insane output with his strikes. I don't know if it's going to be in his favor, though. I mean, he's going to have to get Pitbull out early. I think Pitbull is going to be able to dodge some of those and just keep moving his feet, and his fighting IQ, I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be enough to get him this win here. Also, like you said, two losses. This guy's 0-2 in the UFC. I think a lot of people, there was a lot of hype on him coming in. I think you and me sniffed that out in his first fight. He's going against a tough guy. This isn't a great spot for Pitbull. Then he goes against Ige. More manageable fight, but Dan Ige's still pretty good, and then he lost. So I think people that thought, okay, well, he's going to win the second fight, they put some money on him again. Now they've lost money on him twice, and they're mad. They're just completely out on him. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of people on Patricio Pitbull. So for that reason, I am going to be on Pitbull. Get him at the plus 180. It'll keep some people off of it. So if Vegas is paying out plus 180 at like 20 or 30% of the pot, I think they're fine with that. So I do like Pitbull a lot with this one with the fighter IQ. And I did forget to mention to start the show, Parker won last week. Judge Analyzer says, try to make Bobby help me beat him in Tapology. So Patrick's listening to you, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying hard. Just realized I'm an idiot and I read that wrong. So he beat Dan Ige. Pitbull beat Dan Ige by unanimous
He did beat Ige? Okay.
Yeah,
I remember went to decision.
Yeah, went to decision. He beat him, but his debut was against Yair, and he lost to Yair by decision.
Yes.
So with that being said, actually, for the final time, I'm committing back to Pitbull. I thought he lost to Ige, and I thought it was 2 losses in a row, and I'm like, what the hell? I'll go with Pitbull.
I'm glad you're back on this side. You need like those hats when they're doing like the signing day at the high schools. Like, no, this hat. Okay, I'm sticking with Pitbull.
Just fuck with people. Just be like, I commit to University of Mississippi, man. I promise.
Right. Let's scroll on down a little bit. We're gonna be talking about Borralho Oki versus Mason Jones. Bro, I'm on Oki here. Again, I'm on another dog. I'm kind of surprised Oki's the dog here. I believe both these guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think both these guys are like Cage Warrior guys.
I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure Jones is.
Yeah.
I don't know about Borralho.
I think they might be. But I like Borralho here. Once again, it's neither of these guys seem like they're great grapplers. This seems like it's going to be a striking affair, especially for Jones. He had one good like hip toss that I saw. Outside of that, I mean, he was taken down by some pretty easy stuff. And I worry about Jones. I'm really surprised. Once again, at least they kept the odds close for this one. But Oki is going to be my pick. I just think that he's more well-rounded, and I actually think he's the better striker in this one too.
Yeah, I know for sure Mason Jones is a Cage Warriors guy. Balaji's not Cage Warriors.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Yeah, I've been following Mason Jones since Cage Warriors. That's like my second favorite promotion to watch, honestly, outside of the UFC. Cage Warriors is pretty damn good, and Mason Jones is one of those guys. Uh, yeah, I mean, he made his UFC debut against Jeremy Stevens this past May. Handily beat him, unanimous decision. Always nice to see Jeremy Stevens lose. If you know, you know. And yeah, did quite well in Cage Warriors before he came over to the UFC. He was on a 4-fight win streak, 3 of those by finish. And guy's just pretty damn good, I have to say. He's got a lot of good names on his resume. David Onama, that was pretty good. It's actually his second stint with the UFC. Mason Jones, his first one. Didn't go as well, lost his debut to Mike Davis, no contest with Alan Patrick, had that Onama fight, lost to Ludovic Klein, got cut, had to work his way back. So a little bit more to fight for this time around, when you've been to the UFC, you've been cut, you come back, you really want to try to make a lasting impression. And sometimes it works out for guys and sometimes it doesn't, but he's still in the prime of his career. At lightweight, 30, still very much your prime. 5'10", 74-inch reach. You got Alaji. He is 5'10", and he's 29, so not a huge discrepancy there. Been in the UFC, just a little bit longer when you take into account, his second stint, Mason Jones' second stint. This is his second UFC fight. So Alaji, hasn't been around as long as Jones, counting his first stint, but I actually like Mason Jones here. I really do. I think Mason Jones is pretty damn good. I think that he is actually a decent grappler. Obviously, his primary wins have come by striking, TKO for 44%, decision for 38%. I just think Jones has more to prove. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's just definitely got an edge over Alaji, and he's got just a lot more to fight for. And I was just impressed with what I was seeing on his tape in that regard. So I'm going Mason Jones here. As far as what the odds makers have it like, try to see if this is, going to be something that you could potentially make a profit off of, or if they're kind of being a little bit screwy like they like to be recently. Yeah, you got Alaji as a plus 114, so not a huge, dog there. Mason Jones a minus 135. So I agree with it being pretty close. This will be a close fight for sure. So I definitely can't sneeze at those odds. As far as a method, maybe I'll go Mason Jones. Let's see. You got Mason Jones sub. What about sub KO TKO double method? What does that put you at if you go that way?
Let's see.
It's looking pretty tantalizing there.
Here we go. Jones KO sub plus 300.
You know what? That's how I'm rolling. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
put my little flag on.
Okay. All right, man. Well, hey, different sides there. Let's see about this next one. We're talking Modestus Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Take it away, Bobby.
Yeah, I was talking about people on this card I am hardcore fading, and that's not Pitbull just yet. Paul Craig is a hardcore fade for me.
Yes.
You guys know that Paul Craig is somebody that has made this show a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Paul Craig has been a guy that we've been covering, since my article days, and we've done a lot of Paul Craig study. Both of these guys, I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but we know where both of these guys stand in the light heavyweight division, and it's pretty much unfortunately kind of where they are now. I mean, Modestus Bukauskas has been, very streaky since he's been in the UFC. It's been around since 2020. Had a good debut, lost 3 in a row, got finished in 2 out of those 3. But, I mean, it was Jimmy Crute and Khalil Roundtree no shame there. Even Olajaychek's gotten better, so that's a loss that's aged well at least. He's managed to put forth a little 4-fight win streak, lost to Vito Petrino. Now he's right back there with a 3-fight win streak, and he's finished 2 of those fights, right? Granted, not the best competition. Rafael Sequeira, we saw what happened to him against Julius Walker recently. Marcin Prachnio, not the best. Most recent fight this past May, a split decision over Kutalaba. But here's why I like Bukauskas and why Paul Craig is such a fade for me. Paul Craig in his last few fights has started to look like Brock Lesnar levels of not being able to sell taking a shot. Like the guy just looks so hesitant to take a shot, to take a hit. Like he looks very gun shy. I mean, if it wasn't for the no contest and the illegal up kick on Bellato, which by the way, Grammy award-winning, Academy Award-winning actor Rodolfo Bellato, ladies and gentlemen, best performance in a main event or whatever the fuck it was, goes to Rodolfo Bellato. He really sold that hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was going to be a win for Paul Craig until we had some acting classes going on. But other than that, man, I mean, Bo Nickel, okay, it's Bo Nickel, no shame, but no shame to Cal Borralho. We'll be covering him in a bit. No shame to Brendan Allen, but I mean, come on. It's 3 brutal losses, right? 3 brutal losses that you're experiencing in a row. I get it's to pretty elite guys, but you already have a lot of miles. 17 wins, 9 losses, so you've had a lot of miles. You're not getting any older. In light heavyweight, you can get away with a little bit more because, at 37 in light heavyweight, you're practically a spring chicken. But I just don't see it with Paul Craig anymore. His striking's never been good. He's always been a guy who's like having to rely on defensive grappling and last minute, freak subs that he locks up like the Ankalaev one. Or, managing to finally be like, oh my God, I have takedowns. I should probably use those. And using it for one fight, getting a sub, and then the very next fight, catching punches with your face. And that's Paul Craig. And even though Bukauskas isn't that great, I think he's damn sure a way better striker than Paul Craig.
Yeah.
Unless Paul Craig comes out with, his once every eternal Equinox wrestling heavy, try to get the sub approach. He's going to get picked apart by Bukauskas, and he's going to get pretty violently knocked out because he just looks so damn gun-shy and so hesitant to engage in striking, just like Gerald Mearshot. I was talking to somebody about this just yesterday in one of my group chats, where it's like him and GM3 are like the exact same fighter, just different weight classes. Both very gun-shy, both have to rely on their grappling and freak out of nowhere, pull it out of my ass subs. But neither one of them wants anything to do with taking a punch or even giving a punch anymore. Mm-hmm. And that just is not a good thing going up against Bukauskas, who, if nothing else, is going to want to strike and is a pretty decent striker, all things considered. And, the odds reflect this, and I can't disagree. Unfortunately, you're not going to be making much money because Bukauskas is a minus 355. Craig's a plus 280. Look, we love taking Craig when odds are crazy. Craig's paid off for us at some crazy odds before. It ain't going to be this fight. It sucks because you're not getting Bukauskas at anything. You can get a decision at plus 300 because they clearly seem to think it's going to be a KO TKO at minus 135. Right. I'll sprinkle a little bit on decision since it is a 15-minute 3-round fight, just in case Paul Craig decides to bite down the mouthpiece and kind of fight for his career, so to say. I'll go Bukauskas decision plus 300. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to drag it out too much longer. I think pretty much exactly what you said. I'm glad you took decision. That means I'll just take the knockout because I think we both think this is going to be a knockout. It's just... Yeah,
for sure.
Paul Craig, he's at that point, man. He just gets hit and he's done. We've been seeing that with a couple of these guys lately. It's just... you get rocked, and then it's like you're at the point of your career. It's like, oh, I'm not in title contention anyway. I'm just going to go down. So I agree. I'll do the KO just to cover us, just in case. But yeah, I could see this also being a decision. So I like splitting that one.
Yeah, for sure. Good call.
Next one we got Benoit Saint Denis versus Mauricio Huffy. I don't want to do a method on this one, but I do want to take Huffy. BSD, I know he's like in his home country. Wasn't he in his home country when he just got picked apart by what's his name? Money Moicano.
I think he was even in Paris for when Poirier, rocked his world. So yeah, it's
Maybe
not
that's
looking
what it
very
was.
good.
Yeah,
Let's see, Pripolek. He beat Pripolek in Montreal. Yeah, he was in Paris when he lost to Moicano. I stand corrected. He lost to Poirier in Miami, but yeah, Moicano, the loss was Paris.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, he lost the last time. I didn't think he'd lose to Moicano. And now he gets to go against Huffy. I know BSD's as tough as they come. I have to go with Huffy here. There's just no kind of ways around it. I just think Huffy's going to be the tougher guy. One of those just traditional Brazilian dudes that's just good at fighting, right? So I think he's going to come in, get the win. I would personally stay away. Let me check here what the odds are for everybody so they can see it. Huffy by KOs plus 110, decision plus 450, sub plus 1200. Yeah, I'm sticking with the money line.
Yeah, you're getting Huffy at pretty damn good odds. I'm actually going to go Huffy sub. I'm going to go Huffy
really?
sub, actually. Yeah, I think maybe Huffy's going to want something to prove to people, man. I think he's going to want to make an example out of BSD. And, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, my gut's just telling me he's got the grappling. Obviously, he's a flashy knockout striker, but something tells me he's going to try to get the sub over BSD. It's going to be like a situation where he has to choose between pounding them through the mattress, with ground and pound, or going for the sub. I think he might lock up the sub.
Do you want to take money line right now just as the pick and then do the sub for Haymaker to be safe?
Yeah, we'll try that for now. For now, we'll do money line. We'll see if there's anything good for this last fight. I'll go back through one time look, but yeah, okay. We'll go money line for now, but it's all Huffy all day.
Gotcha. And then I'm glad that we're starting. Yeah, I'm letting you start this one because I am really on the fence here. This is the one I had the hardest time with. Imavov versus Kai Borralho, Bobby.
Yeah, this is definitely another very, very close fight. Imavov's not looked bad. I've been an Imavov hater for a while, but I can give him his flowers. That Israel Adesanya win, beautiful. Really did not expect it as an Israel Adesanya hater. I still took Israel Adesanya. Made it look easy, further cemented that Adesanya is just absolutely shot, for better or for worse. If you like it like me, hey, great. If not, whatever. And then Borralho is Borralho. Like, we already know that this guy's special. Jared Cannonier made him look like very easy, just absolutely dismantled him over 5 rounds. Like I kind of called for that fight that he was going to do. It's just like something Jared Cannonier struggles with, is guys like that, just absolutely just rendering him useless, neutralizing his game, a la Robert Whittaker, MVP, you name it. Obviously, knock the Sonic rings out of Paul Craig.
Right.
Abzupian Magomedov was able to just destroy him. Michel Olajaychik sub. The guy's just been on a tear. Since he's been in the UFC, it does a lot for your confidence to just make short work of guys in the UFC like that. Hasn't really struggled too much. Big test for him, though, because Imavov's a sniper, man. He's a very good striker, as he proved by knocking out Adesanya. Very careful with his strikes, never really out of place, never really overextends, does anything stupid, even against guys that are like a pretty big submission threat with some decent takedowns in wrestling, like Brendan Allen. Still just picked him apart, stayed on his feet, destroyed him. Isn't even phased by, power punchers like Cannonier, was even able to get the freaking KO over Cannonier, decision pretty handily over Viddyoze. So he's pretty adaptable to a decent, amount of different fighters. The only bane of his existence is Sean Strickland. Yeah, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm Sean Strickland. Like, what, man? Yeah, dude, my dad. 2023, that was kind of his biggest blemish, was losing to him, but no shame there for all of, his pillow-fisted iCarly boxing. Sean Strickland's not bad. He was, champion and all that fun shit at one point. So,
yeah.
Uh, yeah, very very close fight. So it's tough, man, because uh he is just so adaptable. Imavov is, and it's just like, what the hell is this man's weakness going to be if he can, pick apart the KO artists like Cannonier and just be comfortable standing and trading with them and defend
Right.
takedowns against the Delizes of the world and the Brendan Allens of the world. It's like, what the hell is going to kind of give this guy fits? And maybe it's Borralho. Maybe Borralho just has that much more power in his hands than like Cannonier and just has like a better way of getting to it. It's very possible, right? I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
it's the toughest fight on this card to predict,
Hmm.
hands down. It's if the odds don't have this as a pick 'em, it's going to be insane to me because I just don't see how you could have it as anything other than like, you know, okay, pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Imavov's plus 114, Borralho's minus 135. Uh, I'm gonna go Imavov, man. I'm gonna go Imavov. He doesn't have a problem with his gas tank, which is really good to see because, like, the Delidze fight. Guess who had a problem with their gas tank? Delidze. Surprise
Right.
there, but Imavov didn't. So I don't think he's going to have that problem. I'd like to see Borralho challenged a little bit in a difficult fight that's going to go, 25 minutes that he's not just kind of in cruise control on. And at these odds, I can't really pass it up. So I think I'm gonna go Imavov at the money line. What do you think?
I'm actually right there with you, dude. I just think Imavov's a more well-rounded fighter. I wonder if there's not tape in between the lenses of Borralho's glasses if he has as much hype as he does. I
Yeah,
mean, come on. Like the fighting nerds, they get a lot of hype for good reason. They are very, very talented. They're very, very good fighters. But we've seen them tripping up a little bit lately. We've seen them have a couple hiccups in the road. Now I think it's time for Borralho to hit his. They just seem very strike heavy. Is that fair to say? They're very like Gene Silva, Borralho. They all kind of seem like. I think Huffy's on there
Huffy
too,
for
isn't he?
sure. Like
Yeah,
Huffy for sure is a striking guy. Like he definitely, yeah,
all of them, and they just don't seem like very well-rounded fighters to me. The thing is, they're all such talented strikers. They're able to get away with it. Once you get to the top, is when you start running into those issues. If you're super elite at something, sometimes you get to these guys that are actually well-rounded and good at everything, instead of guys that they can do some stuff or they're good at one thing, but you're able to get by them. I just think Imavov's a more well-rounded fighter. Both of these guys lose to Fluffy Hernandez.
Hey, very possible, man. Fluffy looked really good.
He looks
I've
so
been on the
good.
Fluffy train since his contender series. People thought I was crazy. I was a hipster before it was cool, man. That's all I'm
Dude,
saying.
I'm telling you. So I'm with you on Imavov. Haymaker. So we can get out of here and get back to Thursday. Well, it's almost halftime, but back to Thursday night.
I think I'm gonna go Imavov KO TKO at plus 400. Let's see it.
So you go the Imavov KO. So you're going back and doing the Huffy sub then?
Huffy sub.
Because we were talking about the Huffy sub.
Yeah, Huffy sub. Let me think about that again because I'm pretty committed to Imavov KO TKO for shits and gigs for the Haymaker. Money line for the regular pick. Haymaker. KO TKO.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, all he has to do is win, which I know is hard.
We're on a lot of dogs today. A lot of
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah, a few.
3 of the 5
Screw it. I'm gonna go.
for me at least.
I'll play it safe. Since we're already on some
Okay.
dogs, I'll be all. I'll be your typical, sports better, and I'll tuck it. I'll tuck it between my legs.
You'll tuck it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tuck it today.
Well, guys,
Oh, don't
pardon me.
go too hard or too fast.
Guys, it might just be an underdog week. Right now, the Cowboys are leading the Eagles right now by a field goal, 17-14. So maybe it's just an underdog week. I'm sure the Eagles probably pull it out, but you know what? This might be a sign, though, that the underdogs are leading when we make this.
It's a sign, baby. Die,
It's a
Eagles,
sign.
die.
Die, Eagles, die. Amen. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Peace, guys.
Peace.